Evening, mate. You all right? Can you hear me, buddy? Evening, mate. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Clear. Good man. Good man. Right. We'll get started in a second. I'm going to record it so we can share it anyway into the group and put it in the member app anyway. So we will get cracking. So what we're going to talk about is obviously Christmas period, surviving it without gaining all the weight, which a lot of people do. We're going to look at how we can sort of mitigate that. So, first issue at this time of year is it's Christmas, so balls to it. Most of the people around the 1st of December suddenly lose all structure. Christmas parties start, seeing friends, seeing family, and things and routines, exercise and nutrition tends to go out the window. And we justify it by saying it's Christmas, so what the hell? All right. So that's the first issue. So let's dive into it. What we do need at this time of year is a basic tracking system to stay, as you can see, relatively on track. Because what we need to understand as well is it's Christmas time. We want to enjoy it. We want to do all the things, but how do we keep some semblance of being healthy as well? Okay. So, what do we track? What do we focus on? Well, it goes back to basics. Often in December and over Christmas, the first thing that goes out the window is good sleep because we're getting in late, we're changing our habits, our routines, we're not working normal hours. So, once routine goes, often sleep and that crucial thing about getting up at the same time every day goes out the window. So, if we can sleep as well as we can throughout the festive period, that is a big thing because, as we know, sleep affects leptin and ghrelin, which is our hunger hormones. So if we undersleep or don't sleep well, we are more hungry, we will snack more. And science tells us that. We know it time and time again with every sleep experiment. So if you can, over this period of December through January, if you can still keep getting up at the same time every day and trying to get that 7 to 9 hours per night, that is what you're looking at when it comes to sleep. So still sleeping as well as we can. Hydration, we're looking for 2 litres plus per day. And obviously, when I say 2 litres plus, I don't mean that in the form of mulled wine or Guinness or Prosecco or wine or whatever else you fancy at Christmas. Anything you can have in moderation, but try and get your water at least 2 litres per day to flush your system and keep you nice and healthy if you're not going to be eating and drinking the best things as well. Steps, and I don't mean the band, we want to be keeping it over 8K per day. The more the better. If you can get 10 to 12,000 steps a day and consistently, that is a good thing because one habit that you should have nailed down is activity. So even if you're not getting to the gym, even if you're visiting friends and family, and you might be going all over the place doing that, you can still go walk, you can still get your steps in. So, steps, track them on your smartwatch, however you do it, aiming for over 8K per day, every day throughout the festive period. Then we're looking at lifting. As we know, lifting is one of the great predictors of a long, healthy life. It maintains muscle tissue, it controls fat. So we want to be lifting weights again consistently. We know that 3 to 4 times a week for most people is the sweet spot. Ideally, 4 sessions per week lifting weights. That's going to keep your metabolic rate as high as you can have it. It's going to maintain muscle tissue and it's going to help you look and feel as good as possible. The next point is limiting alcohol. And the key word there is limit should you choose to drink alcohol. So over Christmas, you can have whatever you want as you can at any point in the year. But the devil is always in the dosage and the type of alcohol you have, which we'll get onto in a little bit. So there's a few key things to think about there, which can cause you to go way off track at Christmas time. Alcohol, we'll cover it now. So what can you do to help? You can choose lower calorie options. So if you are a wine drinker, look at things like Prosecco, which are lower in calories. Things like gin and slimline tonics, vodka slimline tonics, things like that, instead of heavier beers and things like that. Set a limit. So if you're going to be having a drink over Christmas, how many are you going to have and what time are you going home? Good thing to do is always limit the window of opportunity if you are going out. So set a hard stop. If it's 9 p.m., if it's 10 p.m., whatever it is, stick to it. So don't allow it to run into 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and then it affects your sleep, your nutrition the next day, and you feel horrendous. So set a limit in your alcohol, set a home time. They're your first two things. Next things are plan the days you're going to have a drink if you're going to, and stick to only them. Now, you might be having meetups with friends, family, things like that, where there may be drinking involved, but try and keep the alcohol intake to only those days. It doesn't mean because it's December, you should be drinking for the next 45 days into January, which a lot of people do. It's quite common that you don't have to. No one's ever been mugged by a bottle of wine. It's a choice. Remember that? And also, as well, have decent tasting food in when you get home. So you're not reaching for takeaways and massive high calorie meals. If you're going to be ordering all sorts of 2,000, 3,000 calorie takeaways at the end of a night out, if you can choose to have something in for when you get home that is a little bit better, but still tasty, a lower calorie alternative, that is a good place to start. All right. So there's things you can do if you are going out to mitigate the overall calories. Issue 2 we have over Christmas is the mindset of, I deserve a break. It's Christmas. So people often this time of year think, oh, well, I'll start again in the new year. But you wouldn't start again brushing your teeth in the new year. You wouldn't start having a shower again in the new year. They're part of who you are. They're your identity. They're your standards. So if your standard is you're somebody that keeps active and keeps healthy, my point to you might be this, is that you should consider, should I just drop all my good habits because it's December and Christmas? You should still be doing gym work. You should still be getting your steps in, keeping as active as you can. Even if your routine might be slightly skewed, there's lots you can do to keep active. Stopping training for weeks isn't the answer. All you'll do is decondition, get weaker, and you'll have more work to do when you start again. So even though you might not get as many sessions in, or you might lower your intensity slightly or volume or shorter sessions, you should still train hard when you train and keep up some training throughout the festive period. Okay? Going completely off the radar and not training is not an answer if you want to be the best version of you and go into 2025 looking and feeling your best. Keep up the momentum, keep the discipline. When things are in motion, they keep in motion. You don't want things to stop because it's always harder to get things moving again if you stop. So keep going, even if it's not as often as you would like, but keep going. So in the program, in the Liftmas program, obviously you've seen the routines in there. Obviously, I'd like you up to Christmas to train 3 or 4 times a week and maintain that discipline. I want you to keep your step count over 8,000 a day all through Christmas. This includes Christmas Day. Get out a walk. Get in the fresh air. The whole festive period, you can keep your step count high. Okay? And even the Christmas period, if you look at Christmas Day through to New Year's Day, even if you get a couple of weight sessions in during that week, keep the momentum. Like we said, keep things in motion. Keep the improvement, keep the strength training going. Don't slack off and don't stop. Always do something. All right. Like I've just mentioned, even though we scale it back sometimes at Christmas, keep consistent. Do not stop. And keep your strength up no matter what. So even if you get 1 or 2 strength sessions in the Christmas week, still aim to progress your weights. I always say that, as you know from me, stronger is always better. We're always chasing 1% improvement all the time. So no matter what, try and be stronger. It's always better. Stronger is always better. Weaker is always worse. Always remember that. The stronger you are, there's a higher probability you will live longer and ward off diseases. You will have stronger bones if you fall, and you will be resistant to most diseases and illnesses of the Western world if you have a higher proportion of lean muscle tissue. All the science proves that, and all the insurance companies know that. So your grip strength as you age is a good predictor of how long you will live. The stronger you are, the healthier you'll be. Stronger is better, weaker is always worse. Always be stronger. Issue 3 we have over Christmas is gluttony. Okay, we've all been there, and I'm sure we'll all sample a bit of gluttony over the Christmas period. But remember this, you can eat anything you like. The devil is always in the dosage. If you like chocolate, you can eat it. But again, portion sizes matter. They do. If you want crisps, if you want peanuts, if you want mince pies, whatever you want to eat over the festive period is fine. There's nothing that's off the table. It's just don't eat like you're going to the electric chair. Yeah. Because ultimately, everything you eat, if you don't burn it off, as we know, it's going to sit on us in the form of body fat, which is something then we have to train and try and get rid of and then reduce our calories in the new year. So you can reduce the amount of dieting you need to do in January by not going overboard at Christmas. But again, it's a personal choice. We're all adults. But these are points for you to think about and consider as you go into the festive period. Portion sizes matter, like I've just mentioned, even at Christmas, even though you are brainwashed by every TV advert to eat everything you want and as much of it as you can, and that is going to bring you much joy. It will do in the moment, but a few weeks later, when you're thinking, oh, I've put 5, 6, £7 on and I want to get it off, that temporary pleasure might give you long-term pain. So there's always that balance, that seesaw of short-term reward and long-term pain. And you've got to decide which it is for you. And like I said, as a grown-up, make your own decisions. Obviously, when it comes to the festive period and you're meeting up with friends, you're seeing family and all these kind of things, you might have works parties, things like that. There will be bigger calorie days. We've got to be honest with ourselves. They are going to happen. They will come along. And it's just a case of how you manage it over the period of the next 3, 4 weeks. So if you know you've got 3 big events on over Christmas, meeting friends, works, dues, things like that, try and limit the bigger calorie days to those days. The days in between them, back your calories off, because as we know, everything works over a 7-day rolling average. So if you have 3 big calorie days, try and have 4 lower calorie days around them to balance it all out. Because like most of you know, if you, for example, are targeting 2,000 calories a day, you need to be hitting 14,000 a week. And if 3 of those days are seriously higher, 4 days need to come in a lot lower to bring you out at your 14,000 or as near as possible. It's just doing the maths and not doing too much damage. That's all it is. So higher calorie days have to be balanced out with lower calorie days if you're looking to maintain your weight or even drop body fat over the period. It is possible, but it's difficult over Christmas because you'll be eating out and eating other people's food possibly at their houses. So on the days you can control your calories, do what you can. Okay. So what I wanted to do now is discuss the program that you're all on. So we should be on week 2 now of the Liftmas program. So as you are coming into week 2 from week 1, has anyone got any questions, any problems about the program, any exercise questions, diet questions, anything they want to ask? If you have, shoot them out before I move on. Or is it pretty self-explanatory?
Just a quick one. So when does the program start?
Well, the Liftmas started last Monday. Are you in the Facebook group?
I'm not, no.
Right. Okay. Well, what to do is drop us an email, and I'll send you the link for the Facebook group
All
because
right, okay.
in there you've got your accountability tracker where you can keep score of everything. You've also got the program in there, and that's where we're putting coaching videos in, and everybody who's wanting to do it, you can ask questions, and people will jump in there and help you, even
Oh,
if
perfect.
if before I answer it, sometimes some of the other guys will answer it for you. So
Okay, that's fine.
yeah, just drop us a message, like I said, and then we'll get you in the group tonight as soon as we can.
Okay, no worries.
No problems. Anyone else?
Oh, yeah, really, really good so far, and we're learning a lot. So definitely, I was just during they had I had a few questions, but couldn't find those questions.
Don't
No
worry, mate.
worries.
Don't worry. If, you can put them in the group, as you know, and I'll try and get round to them. So obviously, the first 3 week block takes us up to just before Christmas. So the goal of the 3 weeks is hit the sessions as hard as you can. Don't let the mindset slack off just because it's December, like a lot of people will do. But the reason you're doing the program is you're different. You don't want to slack off and you want to keep pushing. The idea then is when we get to week 3, I'm going to give you some very, very specific stuff to do over Christmas, some of which I've mentioned tonight, which is obviously, even if you're not going to be getting to the gym as often, visiting family, doing things like that, you might be away for Christmas. Your step count is crucial. Your hydration and your sleep is crucial. Overall calories is crucial. But I'm going to also be putting in some like body weight training, some other little things you can do at home. So I'm going to be putting some body weight sessions in the group, which you can do over Christmas if you are in a hotel, if you're visiting family, just so you can keep up some intense exercise if you're not getting to the gym over the festive period, because I know sometimes people travel and it's not always possible. So that's what I'm going to do over the festive week. So there'll be some workouts going in there to tide you over. I will as well over the festive week. I'll be putting in the second 3 week block, which will be to start on like the 2nd of January. So by the second, we're going to 3 weeks hard training after the first block. Slight differences in the training plan from the 3 weeks you're doing now. And that is going to push you on straight into January. And then first week in February, we're going to have Super 6 starting. So there'll be a 6 week coaching program starting February, which will take you through February into the middle of March. So hopefully by that point, we've got some really good headway made, getting stronger, getting fitter, getting leaner towards building the summer body and subtracting the fat whilst getting stronger. So that is the plan and the order of events over Christmas, taking you through right into March, if that makes sense. Hope it does. Anybody got any questions about anything they struggle with over the festive period with like works, dues, things like that, visiting friends, family? Any questions, anything you struggle with?
This is still on the same topics. I wanted to ask that we're still doing the accountability trackers every week, and for anybody who is new, accountability tracker is a sheet that Miles can send you, and you can just fill it out every say day. It's life changing. It's really, really, really helpful.
Yeah, it's something I've used in my coaching for the last 20 years. It just helps people focus on what is important and tick it off and keep score. Because if it's on your fridge door or your cupboard door or at the side of your work laptop every day, the end of the day, did I hit my steps? Yes or no? Did I hit my calories? Yes or no? Did I get my sleep right? Yes or no? There's no opinions, there's no feelings. It's just, did I do it? Yes or no? And at the end of the week, if you've ticked off most boxes, you will often find, as sure as night and day, death and taxes, the results follow. It's quite simple. If you focus and are disciplined on the basics, the results always follow. You've got to remember that the results are a lagging metric of your daily habits. What you do today, tomorrow, the day after, the week after, all those things produce an outcome. But rather than focusing on just the outcome, focusing on the daily basics is what brings you the outcome. Because a lot of people want the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, but they're not willing to do the work that leads to the end of the rainbow. It's all about focusing on the here and now. What do I control in my life to get me what I want? And when it comes to health and fitness and getting leaner and getting stronger, it's actually pretty simple and straightforward. Focus on getting stronger, get good sleep and enough of it, drink enough water, have a positive mindset as we've discussed in Super 6 and all the work you can do on your mind. Focus on your protein and your calories every day. And if you stick to those basics and getting your steps in, the results will follow. If you're doing those 80 to 90% of the time, you will get good results. You don't always have to look for the secrets and the hacks. It's all about focusing on the daily basics that will get you the outcomes you want. And as we know from the trackers and the Super 6 groups we've done so far, everybody that does the work gets the results. It's really, really straightforward and it's really simple.
Also wanted to ask, like today, I think it's very, very beneficial to everybody. Like we sent a link to this was a generic email to everybody at the 6 Way gym. So I wanted to ask if we could do that, like going forward, because I think somebody new could come in and they could benefit from this as well, because I think it's really, really good, this program.
Yeah, I mean, the Super Six, it's something that, we're evolving and improving on every course. And like I said, the next one's starting February. So throughout the month of January, I'll be saying to everybody, right, the intake is open, get in the group and let's get you some results. Let's get really educate you and push you forward and help and support you. Because gym wise, it's not just about letting people use a gym. It's about making sure they get the best results possible from using the gym. Because I want their time invested in themselves to yield the best possible results. And that's my goal, is to help and coach people along that route. And periodically, like this little short coaching session tonight, I want to do these little coaching sessions regularly for members on different topics. So I'm probably going to be doing every month or so a little, what would you like me to discuss? I'll put together a little 30-minute Q&A on that topic, whether it be a deep dive into sleep, nutrition, snacks, protein metabolism, supplements, whatever it may be. I'm happy to do short coaching sessions to help the members out, So in January, I'll be putting out a poll saying, what would you like to learn in January? And I'll do a little like this, a quick 30-minute turbo coaching session to help people. So if there's anything that you guys want to know more about, email the gym, drop us a message, Instagram, Facebook. And what people are asking for, if there's a common theme, I will put a training together on that and make sure that you guys know all you need to know on it and the latest science and research on it. So you're good to go.
Thank you.
Any other questions regarding Christmas? Like I said, I've recorded this anyway, so I'll be popping this in the Facebook group anyway, this call, once I've edited it up. Is there any other questions? Anything training, nutrition, hydration, sleep, anything over Christmas period you like answers on? Anything else? Don't worry if there isn't. Right, guys, so perfect. We're finished with about 4 minutes to spare. So my little turbo coaching session's finished in time. So I'll be posting this up. Have a watch back. Any questions, don't hesitate. Drop them over and we will get them answered for you. Have a great week. Enjoy the program in the Facebook group. Get involved. And let's just push on to Christmas, through Christmas, 3 weeks hard after Christmas, then into Super 6. Let's get some good results. 2025 going to be a big year. Speak soon, guys. See you
Thanks, Naz.
later.
Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
See you guys. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.